Teenagers dream big. Some of them pursue their dreams, choosing a path different from those of others. They design their own route of life. Success is for those who think big and act differently. Have you come across the word entrepreneurship? Meet Irfan Alam, who is an entrepreneur who changed the lives of many people through his innovative enterprise. Congratulations on your achievement. When and how did you conceive this idea?
I was 17 years old at that time. I was traveling in a rickshaw, and in the middle of the journey, I was very thirsty. I asked the rickshaw puller if he had any water. He said that he did not carry water bottles because he did not have money to buy and stack them. It set me thinking, and I immediately realized that there was a market for selling water bottles in rickshaws. The very next day, I talked to 5 rickshaw pullers and gave them each 8 bottles of water. I told them that for every bottle they sold, we would make a profit of 2 rupees, which we could split in half. The very first day, I made a profit of 8 rupees.
You were very young when you came up with and executed this idea.
Yes, I guess entrepreneurship is in my blood. I had an interest in business from a very early age. During the stock market scam in 1992, my father and many of his friends lost a lot of money. That is when I started taking interest in the stock market and began researching on various companies. Interestingly, using my advice, all of my father's friends recovered their losses, and most of them started making profits. This enabled me to start my first portfolio management firm at the age of 13. When my parents found out that I was dabbling in the rickshaw sector as well, they pulled me aside and asked me to stop doing it and concentrate on my studies. So I shelved it, but my interest never waned. I kept reading and researching on this sector all through my college days in Pondicherry, where I pursued my Master's of Foreign Trade degree.
What was the spark that revived this idea?
In 2006, an Indian TV show called Business Baazigar launched an entrepreneur hunt and solicited ideas for new businesses. I entered this contest with a business proposal. My idea was to organize the rickshaw sector and make it a profitable venture. According to my proposal, rickshaws were to be redesigned so that the spaces on the vehicles could be sold for the purposes of advertising and brand promotion. Also, I indicated that additional revenues could be made by selling products like water, juice, biscuits, mobile cards, and newspapers to the passengers. I won the show and was offered the seed money of rupees 150 lakhs.
How did Saman help increase the revenues of the rickshaw pullers? How did Saman itself get its revenues?
Saman rickshaws are designed in such a way that they have plenty of space to display advertisements. Several local and national brands place their advertisements here. The advertisement revenue is split in half between Saman and the rickshaw pullers. Also, rickshaw pullers can choose to sell water, fruit juice, cell phone, prepaid cards, etc. In that case, they commit to a central rickshaw yard in the morning and load up their wares. At the end of the day, the profit from their sales is split between them and Saman. The money that rickshaw pullers earn by transporting the passengers is only theirs. The revenues of rickshaw pullers have increased 30 to 40%. There are several other benefits on which we cannot put a monetary value. Rickshaw pullers now have a sense of belonging and empowerment. Children of the operators and their spouses attend free evening classes called Saman Jian. Saman has brought dignity and inclusion to those who were previously considered menial laborers. In addition, I am very happy to say that Saman itself is profitable. Last fiscal year, we made a net profit of 8 lakh rupees and a revenue of 50 lakh rupees. We mentors have been emphasizing the importance of sustainability.
Does Saman get directly involved in microfinancing?
No. We do not directly microfinance the rickshaw pullers. We just enable the rickshaw pullers to get finance from the banks. Instead of paying rent for decades, the rickshaw pullers only pay the bank loan as installments and eventually become the owners of the rickshaws.
Was Saman started with this seed money?
No. I very soon realized that the entry barrier to this business was very low. The only way to sustain this business was to earn the loyalty of the rickshaw pullers. I wanted to provide insurance, ID cards, and uniforms to the rickshaw pullers. I wanted to run this as a not-for-profit organization. To be honest with you, I was not thinking about social entrepreneurship at that point. I just thought that it would be the best way to sustain the business and the easiest way to get banks to give out loans. Since the organizers of the TV show did not agree to this model, I ended up refusing the seed capital.
When did this turn into a truly social venture?
As I understood more about the lives of the rickshaw pullers and their plight, it turned into a social cause. There are about 10 million rickshaws operating in India. Most of these rickshaw pullers do not own the rickshaws, but instead rent them at the rate of 30 to 40 rupees per day. The money they make, after paying the rent, is barely sufficient to sustain their families. They continue to remain at the bottom of the pyramid. I thought if I could create an organization that could empower the rickshaw pullers and find a way to increase the overall revenue, it would be a win-win situation for both. I firmly believe in CK Prayale's idea that businesses can be successful by targeting the bottom of the pyramid. Saman was finally founded in 2007 with seed money from family and friends.
Can you describe the operation model of Saman?
When a rickshaw puller approaches Saman, we first go through a verification process. The operator is then given training on bus etiquette and traffic rules. Then approach the banks and help them get a loan for a new rickshaw. Previously, banks were very reluctant to give loans to this section of the society. Now, since we stand as guarantors, these rickshaw pullers have access to credit. The rickshaw pullers feel truly empowered when they drive their own vehicle. We provide the rickshaw pullers with accident and health insurance. Each driver is given an ID card and is required to wear a uniform while operating the rickshaw. The rickshaw puller now becomes a part of the Saman family.
Aren't cycle rickshaws a dying breed?
Rickshaws continue to be a popular mode of transportation in most parts of the country. The number of rickshaws in New Delhi has actually increased by 20% in the last 2 to 3 years. The reason for this increase is that it has become the choicest form of transport to carry passengers to and from the metro stations. Also, I personally think rickshaws are the vehicles of the future. They are environment-friendly. We have an R&D wing that is working on a solar-powered, fiberglass rickshaw.
What were your experiences at the Presidential Entrepreneurship
Summit at the United States? I met some truly great people. I was indeed honored to talk to the Nobel Prize laureate Muhammad Yunus. He invited me to Bangladesh to help set up a similar organization for the rickshaw workers there.
What is your advice to students in entrepreneurship?
An entrepreneur is one who identifies an opportunity and puts in conscious efforts to make it an enterprise. People generally discourage youth from treading this path. But it is time to start thinking about entrepreneurship as a career, as it can be an important tool to tackle unemployment in the country. It is important to dream, but it is equally important to take calculated risks to achieve your dream.
Thank you very much for sparing the time to talk to us. We wish you the very best for your unique journey.
Thanks. It is with the blessing of me mentors and well-wishers that I carry my journey forward.